Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood. Hopefully, all is well with you and yours. We are back, you guys, for another amazing episode of content. I'm getting pumped up because we're getting close to the season, baby, and it's almost like a hereditary thing with me. All of my family members on my dad's side are football guys, so you almost feel it when the season is coming, you guys. So I'm excited. I know you guys are excited, and we got something to talk about, you guys. I was recently listening to the great Jon Gruden, obviously Super Bowl winning coach, a long lineage of coaches that came through his tree, and he was attached to the Holmgren tree and everybody that went with that, you guys. So everybody knows Chucky. Everybody knows Jon Gruden, a football savant, you guys. And I recently was listening to him talk about Antonio Brown. Now, many of you guys don't remember, but John had Antonio for a quick second. He was with the Raiders, and Antonio Brown came. I think it was a mini camp or a training camp, and he never got to fully use him on the field, but he got to see him, in practice, and he got to draw plays for him, and he got to see it live and in action, of course, as an opponent of Antonio Brown. But I'm listening to Jon Gruden talk about how phenomenal Antonio Brown was, you guys. And you got to understand, this isn't somebody talking about how phenomenal he was that just got a job in the NFL. Jon Gruden is a legend in his own right, and he has been around the best of the best, you guys, at wide receiver. He's been around the Sterling Sharps. He's been around the Jerry Rices and the Tim Brown. He's been around all of these guys who are high-level producers at wide receiver. And the way that he was talking about Antonio Brown was like it was something he had never seen before. He was talking about him almost like he was the best of the bunch.
I saw what he did in these OTAs, and I just had to get him to Sunday for the Raider Nation. I just
Yeah.
knew he could be spectacular in our offense, but what a disappointment for me. I've kind of been trained my whole life to go get players that you covet, you cherish, you really want. And I was doing Monday Night Football. I don't know if you remember, but we had some games in Pittsburgh, and I would go watch the Steelers practice.
Yep.
And I would talk to Mike Tomlin quite a bit, because Mike was my friend. And every time I watched the Steelers practice in training camp, every time I saw them practice during the regular season, I was convinced that if they didn't have a fence around the stadium or the practice facility, Antonio would get killed by a car. He finished everything, man.
Yeah.
I have not seen a guy practice that hard since Jerry Rice. I swear to God, I had to have him. And we took a shot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. There were some issues, I think, off the field that he wanted to deal with. He
Yeah.
wasn't really as maybe focused possibly on football like he was in the past. But the two or three OTAs that we had him on the field, Cam, and he was running our routes, running my stuff. I went home one night, opened a bottle of Asti Spumani and drank it all. I thought we were going to complete every pass. Holy shit. I mean, this guy's running my routes better than they've ever been run before.
Now, if you ask John, he's gonna obviously, especially him being the lover of football and the historian he is, everybody's gonna default to Jerry Rice as, Jesus and cleats, like Deion Sanders would call him. But he was talking with a very high reverence for Antonio Brown, you guys. Now, Antonio has been out of the football spotlight for a while, but he's been doing his rapping thing and he's had some legal issues and he's always on social media, but he's been off of a football field for a while. But listening to Jon Gruden and listening to people that have played against Antonio Brown or have played with him, have been up close and personal up front, have said that he was phenomenal. Basically, you guys, and the stats prove it, as you guys see here, he was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, a lot of the Before You Go Pro content and the show that you're watching today is specifically the weekday huddle, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, small plug. But in the weekday huddle, you guys, we want to bring in the things that are practical to our young student athletes, the families of the athletes, and the coaches. We want to teach, we want to educate, we want to serve and love in the weekday huddle. But I wanted to bring this in because I wanted you guys' opinion. What happened to Antonio Brown? If you're a first ballot Hall of Famer, that's life on the easy road after you're done with football, as long as you just don't crash out. And he crashed out, you guys. We all know when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, him just walking off the field and taking off his uniform. We've seen things that we had the incident with him recording Tomlin when he was with the Steelers and in the locker room. We've seen things that make you scratch your head. And then, of course, he's got, the things that are going on off the field. But I want to ask you, what do you think happened with Antonio Brown, you guys? And part of the reason why I want to ask you, because if it can happen to him, why can't it happen to you? Why can't it happen to you? This is somebody that was under the radar in college, you guys. He didn't go to Florida State. He didn't go to USC. He was at Central Michigan in the MAC conference, obviously D1, but this is under the college football radar for most of us. How many people could say they spent Saturdays watching Antonio Brown at Central Michigan? No, he had the hard road. He came up. I forgot what round he was drafted, but he had the hard road to become who he became in the NFL. He became basically the best, or one or two, three best. Maybe somebody would have AJ Green or Julio Jones, but he became one of the best three wide receivers in the NFL at his time. And once again, pretty much a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer, you guys. So why would somebody throw all of that away? Why would somebody throw all of that away? Maybe because they don't care, or maybe because they're going a little crazy. Like I said, they're crashing out a little bit. But if it happened to him, why can't it happen to you? Did his ego get in the way? Did he start reading the newspaper clippings too much? Did he start reading all of the social media posts too much, saying that he's the best thing since sliced bread? And then now the ego becomes bigger than the person, and you can't control the alter ego. A lot of these guys do have two different sides. I remember even in my small career, I had two different sides. I'm more reserved and relaxed, but when I got on the football field, I had to hit a switch. Does he have a switch turned on that he can't turn off? What do you think happened to Antonio Brown? Now, those that don't know kind of his background and his history, he has a father, Touchdown Eddie Brown, who was huge, you guys, huge in the arena football world. And I have a lot of background in the arena football world, and my family does too. His dad was huge. His dad was like the Jerry Rice, you guys, of arena football, and he was very eccentric. A lot of the touchdown dances that Antonio Brown did were things his dad used to do. So is this a one-off that we see somebody that's on a clear path to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and then just throws it all away? Is that a one-off, or is this something that's bigger that you other athletes need to be aware of? Now, he did it at the highest level. He did it at the pro level. But guys do the same thing as Antonio Brown in college. Guys are on track in high school and throw it all away and do things that just don't make sense, you guys. So to hear Jon Gruden talk about a football player and make it seem like football was effortless to this football player. And obviously if football is effortless to you at the highest level, there's a lot of perks that come with that. But basically, John didn't get to use this guy. They acquired him. John never got to use this guy. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a little hors d'oeuvre when Tom Brady, and then now he cut his career short, and he's not gonna go to the Hall of Fame. He's not gonna go to the Hall of Fame, although he should. He probably should with the stats he has today. Let alone if he would have continued to play. So I don't know what's going on with Antonio Brown off the field. I don't know what type of legal issues he has, or if he has anything mentally or physically or emotionally going on. I don't know, but I know that he's never going to step on a NFL football field again, which is a shame because we all just selfishly, we kind of got cut short. It got cut short, but to hear Jon Gruden talk about a player so highly and then to see someone throw it all away, why does that happen? And why do you feel like it happened with Antonio Brown, you guys? And once again, how do we prevent this self-sabotaging? How do we prevent this from happening to more guys? You guys let me know, because that bothered me a little bit to hear. I had forgot Antonio Brown, how bad he was. I had forgot. But to hear John talk about it, and then to go back and see them play some of the highlights, it was like this dude was unstoppable. Unstoppable, you guys. He was money in the bank. Money in the bank. So picture being an entertainer, because at that level, even college, high level college today, you guys are entertainers. So picture being a high level entertainer where your craft is like putty in your hands, and all of the perks that come with your craft and how high you can perform, and then just throwing it all away, you guys. And it doesn't seem like, once again, I'm outside looking in, but it doesn't seem like he had a backup plan. It doesn't seem like things have been cherries and peaches and cream for him, since he got away from football. It doesn't seem like, some guys you see walk away from football and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He's on Wall Street, or he's in the media or something. I haven't seen Antonio Brown, just having things so easy. I know he had one record and a couple songs that did okay, but it doesn't look. I see a lot of issues still off the field, the same stuff that you saw when he was playing, you guys. So, what is it with Antonio Brown? Do you think it was just a mental snap? Do you think he just doesn't care, or do you think maybe the ego is involved? Do you think that, I don't know, is it CTE, or what was it that makes a man at the top of his game say, you know what, I'm going to end it, and I'm going to end it in such a dramatic fashion where I kind of burn my bridges. He could have retired and still been good with the NFL, probably still got into the Hall of Fame. He said, no, I'm going to burn my bridges, you guys. So let me know what you guys think happened to Antonio Brown. And we always pray. It's part of the reason we have Before You Go Pro is that, it's more than recruiting. It's more than you playing pro ball. We very much so have a practitioner, mentoring component to our program, you guys. The education that we put forth is guided and centered around food for thought, so that the same things don't happen again. We should never see an Antonio Brown again. Somebody that's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer that just crashes out. The man went off the field half naked, you guys. So you guys let me know. I'm interested to hear your opinion. And sometimes we take a little bit of a different approach with the weekday huddle. But once again, I'm listening to a legend coach say that this dude was phenomenal. It was nothing he had seen before. And he said, I couldn't have even waited to see him running my plays. Like, I was excited to see him running my plays. I've heard coaches say, don't even worry about practice, Antonio. Just come for the game. He was that good, you guys. And threw it all away. All right? If Some of you guys are in high school. Some of you guys are in college. If football is just a piece of cake for you, you could do it with your eyes closed, and you know all of the perks that come to you and your family. If you can do it at a high level, would you just throw it away, or would something be wrong if you threw it away? Let me know what you think. All right, you guys, we got an amazing week of content planned for you. Rock with Coach Wood this week. Also, hit that subscribe button. I think 10, 12 people away from 1,000 subscribers, which would be phenomenal for us. And then also check out the resources we have for you down in the description box. I'll see you at the top.